Welcome back in to Varsity Focus Live. We're joined by a very special guest, Coach Winston Jarrett. He's the head coach of the Halls Tigers, and right now the Tigers are having one heck of a year. Coach Jarrett, welcome in. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Greg.
Well, Coach, just let me ask you, first of all, we talked before the interview started, and I felt like apologizing. Having worked at WBFG and in the media, we didn't get the Halls much. So if you would, just kind of start out first. Tell us about yourself. Tell us about your hometown and just a little bit about your experience in basketball.
Well, actually, I'm a local boy. I was born and educated down in Ripley. After completing my collegiate career, if you could call it that, I played at Dyersburg State 2 years, at Union 2 years, and came back home and worked for the state down at the prison for 11 and a half months, and that's when I landed the job in Halls, coached junior high football and basketball, and moved to the high school in 1980, and I've been here ever since. Of course, I played at Union in Dyersburg State.
Okay, so if my math's correct, this is your 36th year, correct?
That's correct.
Well, you're ranked. Halls is ranked for the first time, number one for the first time in school history. Kind of explain to all the people on the outside of Lauderdale County how you guys were able to do this.
I just have a group of guys who have dedicated themselves and have worked hard in the off season. Have a group of eight juniors, 3 seniors, and 2 freshmen. So they've been working really hard. Started playing when they were freshmen out of necessity, and they just have stuck with the program. In the past few years, we've had problems with kids leaving to go other places, and we such a small school, we can't afford to lose a player. And some of the would have been better players in each class. 1 or 2 players. I guess we've had a total of 5 to leave to go elsewhere, to one school in particular. And so these guys decided to stay home, and they've done well so far.
Talk about that dynamic, Coach. Did you have to make an extra effort to preach to this flock, this batch of kids to stay home and have success local, or was it already in them?
It was in them to stay. Their parents was not going to move them any place, wasn't going to be driving back and forth to the school. So they stayed, and they worked together, and they've been together, and it's paying dividends now.
I was reading the Dyersburg Gazette, Jason Peavyhouse, an article talking about your squad. Some names I got from the article: Tavon King, Malik Rogers, Julius Person. Tell us about some of your stars, Coach.
Tavon King is guard. He's been playing since he was a freshman. He's a senior now. The other senior that starts is Malik Rogers. Malik, he was out playing in the cold dampness on a outside court. Brought him to the gym when it was the 8th grade. He wasn't playing in the 8th grade, and he just went to work. We first taught him how to shoot, and he's really developed. Malik just dedicated himself to the game. Tavon is one he's a superb ball handler. Sometimes he gets out of control, but this season he's worked on being more in control, and he's a scorer, and he can get to the rim. He just can do it. He'll hit the 3, the mid-range jumper. He has a good game. He's a triple threat when he gets the ball. Julius Person, he's dealing with growing pains more or less. When he came in as a 9th grader, somewhere around 5'5", 5'6", and now he's 6'1". Sees the floor well, excellent passer. So each kid has put his talent together in a team effort. The big man we have, which isn't a big man, Myron McKinney, he's 6'4". He has to play inside because that's where we need him. But actually, he was big due on the wing. He could be in pretty good wing person. And then we have Trey Lewis. The only thing about Trey is he's going to get after you on defense. He doesn't worry about scoring. He's completely a hustling player. A loose ball, if it's an errant pass, he's there.
We're visiting with Winston Jarrett. He's the longtime head coach of the Halls Tigers. Coach, you've been at this for more than 30 years. Let me ask you, in order to be successful, I know you coach several things. What's the hardest thing for the average player to pick up on?
Defense. As I've seen it, they work more on offensive skills. Their offense is usually intact. I have to get them to realize if they play defense, that'll win a game. Offense will put them in position, but defense wins the game. They want to reach instead of moving their feet. They don't understand the importance of footwork. And defense is just guts, like rebounding. So guts. Once they get that desire to do that, to separate the man from the basket, causes him to miss. When they get a hang and get that good feeling about defense, then you've got it made. Now I'm still having problems in that area.
Coach, I know you've coached this program to several sub-state appearances. What's been your luck or your success, your track record in deep postseason play?
Well, just preparation, seeing the other teams, knowing their tendencies, and being able to relay that to the players, and they picked up on it, and go out and execute what it is we want to do. But for the most part, I think, if I can say it, we just concentrate on doing what we do better than the other team do what they do. Something crazy like that. That's basically it. If we can do what we want to do, you have to stop us. We're not going to worry that much about everything you do, but having a general idea of what another team does, it really helps. But being able to execute your game, the transition game is what we like to play. If we can get that in and then pick you up occasionally full court, not necessarily to steal the ball, but make you turn it over one or two times, that could be the difference in the game.
We're visiting with Winston Jarrett. He's the head coach of the Halls Tigers. Right now, Halls is the #1 team in the state in Class Single A. Coach, if the record's correct here, you're 19-0. You know, people are going to pick up the Jackson Sun, and they're going to say, well, Lake County's having a down year. Humboldt's having a down year. That's the only reason why Halls is doing well. What would you say to people across West Tennessee who simply look at statistics and make that remark?
When they were up, we were having a bad year. This district is the toughest district to me in the state. We have Union City, who's won state titles. Humboldt won state title. Lake County won state titles. South Fulton has won a state title, and we've been to the state tournament. So this district is very competitive. And in those years when all of those teams was faring well and we were just surviving, we didn't have that much to work with. And that's when players were going other places. We were a player too short each season. And if those guys had stayed here, perhaps we wouldn't have had that lull for such a long time. It's been 8 years since we had been to the regional tournament prior last year. This group of sophomores and juniors, we made it to the regional tournament. We lost 8 games last year with these young guys. 2 to Ripley, who was a AA semifinalist. We lost 3 times to Humboldt, who lost in the sub-state to Mitchell, who eventually were the state champions. And we lost 3 times to Union City, who were they were the runner-ups in single A. So we didn't get beat. We weren't beaten by some slouches. that motivated us, and we have come out and played. And by the way, we're 20-0. We won last night.
Excellent. Coach Jarrett, just a few more questions for you. In this article by Jason Peavyhouse at the State Gazette, you said your team is surprisingly good. Why'd you make that phrase? Why has it been surprisingly good?
Well, given the depth of the team, they had to become Iron Men, and so they reached that point fairly quickly this season. I didn't think we would have that intensity that we have right now, nor did I think we would be physically ready to play the game the way we played, applying pressure, running the break.